Middle of our mats, pull our shoulders back and down, turn our toes out, turn the heels out. Let's get our feet into that lovely neutral alignment. Lift the inner arches of our feet up ever so slightly. Bring our hands onto our hips and just start with a little bit of a warm up into the lower back. Forwards tilts, arching the lower back slightly, and then backwards tilt, tucking that tailbone under. Let's go for a few of those. Forwards tilts and backwards tilts. Okay, nothing dramatic. You want to keep the shoulders relaxed, the knees are relaxed. Okay, we're just doing a little forward and backwards tilt of that pelvis. Find your halfway point. So squeeze those sit bones together. So the bum cheeks, make sure that you've got a nice bit of stability through those glutes there. And then work on the centre at the front. Again, remember, if you're ever unsure about what we mean by centering, obviously just get in touch, okay? Bring one hand up now onto the base of your rib cage. Just breathe in and out, just feeling what's going on under that hand. What you should feel is as you breathe in, the ribs kind of expand out in front of you, and as you breathe out, everything kind of gets nice and soft along the front. You want to really start to exaggerate that gliding of the rib cage down towards the pubic bone. So breathe in, let the ribs really nice and flare, lifting, getting as much air in as you possibly can. And then as you breathe out, soften the rib cage down towards that pubic bone, down towards your toes. Go for one more of those. Nice and easy. Keep that breath pattern going as you rest both arms down by the side. Float both hands up just to shoulder height. Roll the shoulders back and down, and we'll start with a little bow and arrow. So you're going to pull one arm back, looking towards the elbow behind you, but keeping those hips pointing forward, and then reach forward. So drawing back with the other arm and breathing in to reach forward. So just nice, easy breath. Breathing out to turn back, breathing in to reach forward. So this is a real nice exercise to start mobilising that upper back. And loads of you, especially in this class, we know we're quite stiff through the upper back. Take it a little bit further now. So hold that bone and then open up the hand to a full stretch. Get a stretch through the front of that bicep. Then bring the hand back to the shoulder before you reach again. Okay, 3 more of those. Open the hand, really stretch back. Bring the hand back to the shoulder before you reach again. So breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, and breathing in. Last one, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, and breathing in. And all we're going to do now is we're going to reach one shoulder blade forward and reach that shoulder back. Reach the other shoulder blade forward and reach the shoulders back. So we're just literally taking the hand in front of you and bringing that shoulder back. Fantastic. Shoulder forward and shoulder back. So you'll notice my breastbone's not moving, it's just the arm that's doing this reach. So let's try to keep the torso really, really still. Float both hands up to the ceiling and do the same thing. So you're shrugging one shoulder up and then drawing that shoulder down. Breathing in to shrug the other shoulder up and relaxing it down. Really try to keep the focus on the shoulder. Keep the elbows soft. But don't really try not to bring those elbows down too far. We want to keep that reach of those arms. Let's go for 2 shoulders at the same time. Breathing in, shrug both arms up, and breathing out, glide those shoulder blades down into your back pockets. So really simple, shrug up, shrug down. Take the hands behind you, another inch. Just really push that stretch and do 2 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Turn the palms away from each other. Stretch the hands behind you as you go into a nice gentle circle to finish. Bend both knees just a little bit. Side bend. Wait to stroke up your side, reach to the ceiling and look up at your hand. Breathe in, so really, really stretch through that side, up, up, up rather than across. And then as you breathe out, just stand up nice and easy. So standing mermaid, bend the knees, reach, look up, breathe in, breathe out to stand up. 2 more. Breathing in, don't forget to bend the knees. Equal weight through those feet, so we're not leaning, you're reaching up. Stand up. On the next one, stay up there. Now just really quickly whilst we're here, looking up at the hand, just think about equal bend in both those knees, equal pressure through both those feet. Press the down hand to the outside of that thigh, so really stabilising through the torso. And then gently lower the hands in front of you to a nice big circle, lifting up at the top. Follow the thumb with your eyes, so you really get this beautiful upper body, big turn through that chest. Careful, don't be too dizzy. You can look straight ahead if you're feeling the wobble. And the last one, hold, and then gently squeeze the bum to stand up. Fantastic. Let's sink into that second side. Again, press that leg into the outside of the thigh. Hold that big stretch up. Breathe out to the first part of the circle. Breathe in for the second part. 3 more of those. So really try to exaggerate the head, the chest. It's not just an arm movement. Let's get the whole upper body involved in this circle. Breathe in to reach the hand up to the ceiling again and stand up to finish. Fantastic. Let's go for 2 shoulder rolls, just setting those shoulder blades back and in place. Bring the hands onto the hips. We're going to float both heels up off the floor and gently lower them down. Breathe in to lift those heels up and breathe out to let them roll down. Relax the shoulders. So really try to take those shoulder blades away from your ears as you're just starting off. Simple lift and lower. Think about that lower back position, okay? So have you got like an active neutral pelvis, or are you just where you normally are day to day? So it's really trying to stabilize through that really straight line of your pelvis. Squeeze your bum cheeks together. Get a bit of pelvic floor in there as well. So squeezing the muscles up your back passage, getting them drawn up towards your belly button. And then lower down only halfway on the next one before you lift again. So lower the heels halfway and lift again. And really nice and simple. Lift and lower, nice and easy. And we'll go for 3, 2, and then stay at the top of the next one. Double check you've got equal weight through both of those feet, and we're going to pulse. So you're literally going bounce, 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 keeping the heels off the floor if you can. Now, if there's too much on the calves or you're too wobbly, you can just start and keep on going with the slow lift and lower. But I really want those calves to get a little bit of a burn right about now. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Bring one knee forward and lift and bounce to switch to the other side. Lift and bounce to switch. Fantastic. Keep on going. Keep the breath natural. Let's work on gliding that rib cage down towards your pubic bone and widening through those collarbones. So at the moment you're bouncing up and down, and that's absolutely fine. What we're going to try to do now is stop the upper body movement, but still keep with our knees bending and stretching. So no bounce. Fantastic, good. You're really controlling through the torso. Let's set that sensor and go back to the bounce again, all the way up and all the way down. Fantastic, that's really, really good. Okay, let's go for 3, 2, 1, and rest both those feet down. Okay, if you're lengthways on your mat, step forward with one foot and step back with the other. Let's lift that back heel up. If you need a bit of balance, that's fine. We're going to start off with a bit of a stretch. So push that back heel down and lift that back heel up to start off with. So pushing the back heel down and lifting the back heel up. Keep on going, but turn your heel outwards slightly. So where your foot is, you want to have your heel away from the midline a little bit. Get a bit of a different but a better stretch. If your heel is tucked in towards the midline, it won't be such a good stretch. So let's go for 1 more of those and hold the stretch for 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay there. Drop your hip low. Keep the back heel on the floor, but bend through the front knee, opening up through that front hip. 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift the back heel up. Really get a strong torso. Hands on hips if they aren't already. Relax the shoulders. Drop that back knee towards the floor. Kiss the floor if you can, and lift up through that back foot. So dropping down as you breathe out. Breathe in to lift. Literally 3 more. So trying to go slow, and you're trying to also go really, really low. Don't put the weight too harsh onto the mat. Little soft, and then go halfway for me. Just find yourself in this position, get comfortable, push the weight back slightly. Let's get more weight on that back foot. Spread those front toes. And now pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5. Hold chest, better. 3, 2, 1, and then just step in as comfortable. Shake those legs off, fantastic, well done. Let's go across to the other side, okay, good. So stepping forward and stepping back, okay. Find the balance, hold on something if you need to. Press the back heel down, lift the back heel up. So we're just starting that nice stretch, lift and lower of that back heel. And again, you're turning that heel outwards slightly. So getting that better stretch. Fantastic. Go for 2 more. Really flex those toes all the way up. Give the toes a little stretch as well. Put the back heel down and just keep it there. Just a few seconds, holding that stretch, holding that stretch. Now keep the heel down, bend the front knee and try to push a little bit through that heel. But don't let the back heel come off. That's part of this stretch. You want to really work through the whole leg, not just one of those joints. Fantastic. Lift the back heel up, hands on hips with the arms already, shoulders back and down. Quick, let's lift through the back of the neck before we drop that knee down to the floor and lift. Breathing out on the way down and breathing in on the way up. 3 more. Lift. 2, lift. Gently and slowly, 1, lift, and then drop halfway. So again, just kind of explore how this feels. Yeah, keep the chest up, shoulders drawn back and down. Put the weight back slightly onto that back heel, and last pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and step in. Fantastic. And then again, give those legs a little shake off. Okay, let's warm up the spine before we move on to the floor. So relax through that posture, lovely tall back of the neck. Do 1 shoulder roll as you breathe in. Sink into that side as you breathe out all the way to the floor. Breathe in and hold the stretch at the bottom. And breathe out, please, as you curl up through 1 vertebrae at a time. Shoulders back second to last, head up last. Opposite shoulder roll as you breathe in. Breathe out through that side stretch. Breathe in, hold at the bottom. Breathe out to roll up. 2 more. Breathe in, shoulder roll. Breathe out. Side stretch and stroke down the outside of the leg. Breathe in to hold at the bottom. Breathe out to stand up. Last one. Breathing in. Breathing out. Looks great. Fantastic. Breathe in. Hold that hamstring stretch. Curl yourself up. Fantastic. Go to the edge of the mat. Facing in the center, like so you're facing the lengthways. Look down, double check those feet are hip distance apart. Lift the inner arches, really strong through your arch and your toes. Let's breath in as we lift the back of the neck and breathe out and be a complete ragdoll. Breathing in, ragdoll, ragdoll, ragdoll. Drop to the knees and hands as you breathe in 1 more time. And then actually just get yourselves really comfortable in that 4-point kneel position. So again, this is where you might want to just go onto your fists just for a little while. And actually for this first set, you can even go on your forearms as well. Okay, if you are quite hypermobile in your elbows, I'd like you to just soften the elbows a bit. So basically bend them a tiny bit, okay? So anyone for pregnancy as well, bend those elbows just a little for me, please. Keep the toes tucked under as we go to a leg pulling prone. So lift the chest, lift and lengthen the back of the neck, and set that center. So lifting your belly button away from the floor. Float both those knees just a few inches away from the floor, and then gently lower them back down again. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. Lift just the knees off the floor. Hold for a split second. Gently come down again. So that's our level 1. Keep on doing that for me, please. Lift, gentle lower. Everything about that movement is really, really slow, really controlled. At the top of the next one, we can do 10 bum flicks if you choose to do so. So lift those knees. 1 heel comes to the bum, the other heel comes to the bum. 8, 7, 6. You're going to keep on breathing really nice and gently. Keep the shoulders away from the ears and lift that chest away from the floor. Last one, lower, those knees down. Good. So that's a variation for you if you don't want to go up to level 2. The rest of you, let's take your hands out in front of you. 1.5 hand positions. So you'll get quite a big shoulder range here. Now that's okay, because we can do 2 movements to get into a full plank. You can lift the knees by themselves, then push the weight forward to a full plank, making sure you've got a nice bum cheek squeeze, a little backwards tilt, and a really big chest lift. And then we'll reverse that. So we'll drop the weight back towards the knees, and then just at the end, we lower the knees to the floor. So it's 4 movements. So let's go a little quicker. Lift the knees, shoot forward. Hold for the breath in. Lift that belly button. Drive the knees back, then lower the knees down. Okay, so again, if you want to, stick at that level. The rest of you, let's get some leg lifts in as well. Breathe in, set your tummy. Breathe out, float the knees. Breathe in, shoot forward. Now breathe out, straighten and stretch that leg behind you. Not in the air, just directly behind you. And keep it up, keep it up. Reach it, reach it, reach it, reach it. Now flex and put that toe down. Now stretch the other leg away. Remember, it's a real reach, 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 and then flex and put it down. Fantastic. Drop the knees back, lower. 1 more at that level, guys, or the level that you are doing. Float the knees, shoot forward. And let's go for 6 legs and down. 5 and down. 4 and down. Lift the chest, lift that belly button. 2, long through the back of the neck. 1, and drop the weight back, knees down. Everybody relax your toes. Sit back into a child pose stretch. Fantastic, guys. Well done. Lovely little release into that position. Lovely little stretch. Drop the head. Tip the head side to side. Nice and relaxed. We're going to take it down a complete notch in terms of like strength, but really up it for stability. Lower yourselves onto your tummy, please. We're going to have our block underneath our forehead or your pillow or your towel. And we can have our arms outstretched in front of us. We have a little swimming level 3 here. So, thumbs to the ceiling. Reach the arms away, but pull your shoulders down towards your bum. So we kind of really change the stretching this arm. Roll into a slight backwards tilt for me, please. So tuck your tailbone under, squeezing those bum cheeks as you go. And we're just going to do a simple single arm and opposite leg lift, lowering down in between. Breathing out to lift one arm and the opposite leg. Breathing in between. Keep on going. If you have got a lovely little bump in front of you, you are going to stay on 4-point kneel and do the same exercise. Arm and leg lift and down. Arm and leg lift and down. Breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. So everybody breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. Now keep on going with that. So whilst you're doing that, I'd like to think about the pressure of your pubic bone and your hip bones into the floor. If you've got that backwards tilt I'm asking for, a really good strong centre, when you lift that leg, I'd like it that your pelvis doesn't really move. So if you lift the leg up and you feel extra pressure somewhere on those front bones, and then when you put the leg down, the pressure moves again, you're not controlling that pelvic position, and that's really what we're looking for. Sometimes it can help to prop up your tummy, so a little sausage roll of a towel or your jumper, just lifting it under your tummy can help. But again, we're going to play with that as we progress and get that nice strength around that lower back area. Let's go for 1 more of those, please, guys. 1 more on each side, and rest. Bring the hands back underneath your shoulders and push yourself back up to 4-point kneel. Now, hopefully, we have all got a little Pilates ball, a little soft, squishy ball. Don't panic if you haven't, but if you do, please put that behind one knee and then flex the ankle of that leg. And in flexing the ankle, it should make the ball feel quite stable, quite sturdy, right behind that knee. So I don't want it to pop out in the next exercise. Everybody, where your wrists are, put your elbow there. So we're going to all do this with a little relaxed wrist position now. Look between your forearms and lift the back of the neck up to the ceiling, lift the breastbone up to the ceiling, and lift your belly button up to the ceiling. So you really feel nice and strong through that chest. We're going to slowly float that heel up towards the floor, and you're going to stop when your lower back starts to drop. You don't want to lose that beautiful control. Tap the knee down to the floor and lift it again. Gently down and gently up. So as you lift, try to squeeze the bottom of that side. Lift the belly button up towards the ceiling as you breathe out and breathe in. Again, if the breath is too slow here, absolutely fine. Just make sure the breathing is nice and natural. Keep on going. Focus on the hip bones now. Do you think those hip bones are still level and in line with each other? We want to keep that hip so perfectly still. That's the only way to get your abs working the hardest. Let's go for one more. Really stretch, lower, and then just rock weight back and lift yourself back up onto your hands. Switch those legs over. Great stuff. Okay, prop the ball behind the other knee. Flex the ankle. In that 4-point square position, put your elbows where your wrist was. Lift the neck, lift the chest, lift the belly button. Shoulders away from the ears, and let's go again. Lift the heel and tap the knee down. Lift the heel and tap the knee down. Now, if you don't have the ball, remember it's okay, still doing the same movement, the same exercise, but you won't get that little bit of an extra leg muscle contraction. Those hamstrings just won't work as hard. So keep on going, both lift and lower, keeping that chest up, keeping that belly button up. Don't change that beautiful lower back position that you started with. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. If you want to put that little bit of breath in, let's go for 2 more. Really squeeze that bum cheek as you lift that heel to the ceiling. And again, rest, get rid of the ball, and child pose, shell stretch in between. Fantastic, guys. Well done. Okay, we're going to go into a side bend now. So we're going to just tip ourselves onto our side. Now, listen, guys. When we do our side bend and we do some leg exercises, if it becomes too much on your shoulder or your elbow or your wrist, what I like to do is just literally slide the arm down and then continue with the leg work, but you are resting with the upper body. But obviously, I'd like if we can still keep ourselves in this side bend position. So to start with, stack the feet, stack the knees, stack the hips. Hand is going to go away from the hips, but in line. So hand, bum, feet, check, everything's in line. Biggest movement to start off with, right under here, lift it. So you're lifting that chest away from the floor. You've got to keep that lift. It's going to help protect that shoulder. Drop that shoulder back and down, and have the other arm long by your side. So side bend, level 2, we can just really easy, squeeze the knees together, lift the hips, and lift the hands directly up to the ceiling, and then gently come down again. That's it to start off with. So again, if you want to, you can always revert back to this level. You can drop to your forearm if you want to, but it's quite a lot through your shoulder joint. But everybody should be mostly comfortable to do this lift and lower. Now, if you want to take it a little bit further, let's lift up. We're going to stay there and go to a clam level 1 for 10 repetitions. So open the knee and close the knee. So again, if you don't want to do this exercise, still up in the side bend, just literally slowly lower yourself down, straighten out your underarm, and continue with the same leg movement. Now, as we're doing this lift and lower of the knee, nothing's moving around your torso. It's literally just that top knee that's doing this work. 2 more of those, just 2 more, and then lower the bum, and just quickly give that shoulder a little rest off. A couple of little rolls, tip the head side to side, whatever it feels like you want to give a bit of a release on, because we've got one more thing to do in that same side bend position. Ready? Okay, take the hand back out again, fingertips pointing away, feet are stacked, chest is lifted, top shoulder back, bottom shoulder even further back. Long hand on. Okay, let's go up into our side bend level 2, hold. Now we're going to stretch one leg out away now. Now just really quickly look down. What I'd love to see is this beautiful straight line through your body. Now tuck the rib cage in slightly. You should feel a bit more abdominal work here. Now we've got that rib cage tucked in. Let's go for some leg lifts. 10 and down, 9 and down, 8, 7, fantastic, 6, 5, lift that pelvic floor a little bit as well, 3, remember straighten the arm if you need to, everything's slow and controlled guys, yeah, 2 and 1, and gently down, and just literally sit yourselves into a cross-legged position, fantastic. So what you'll feel is like one side is quite tired, one side is quite tired, and the other side's done nothing. So let's balance that out. So unhook and take your feet across to the other side. Stack the feet, stack the knees, make sure the hand is outstretched, in line with your bottom, in line with your feet. Start off with our just side bend. So lift the chest, set that tummy, set that center, breathe out to lift, breathe in to lower. So again, if you need to, just ignore the leg work and just work with some really nice fluid movement of the side bend. Now squeeze the bum as you come up. If you need to, you can of course push your pubic bone forward as you squeeze the bum on the way up. Doesn't matter about the speed you're going, because it's a breath out to lift and a breath in to lower. Really however you feel most comfortable, guys, yeah? Okay, let's stay up at the top of the next one. Plans for 10 and down. Look at this hip, just double check. It's still stacked on top of the other one. It's easy for that top hip to roll backwards. Don't let it, okay? 5 and down. 4, 3, they look great. 2, 1, and gently down. Sit up just real quick. Hopefully the fatigue is starting to feel a little bit even through those shoulders. Again, couple of shoulder rolls, head tips, whatever it needs to do, just to feel balanced. Last thing, really get that leg outstretched now, guys. So restack the feet and restack the knees, hands back out, fingertips pointing away. Chest lift, shoulder back and down. Top arm long, breathe in, belly engaged. Breathe out, lift, breathe in, stretch and straighten that leg, and 10 and down. 9, fantastic. 8, 7, 6, remember lay down if you need to. 5, 4, 3, good. 2, keep the knees straight. 1, and gently down all the way. And go to cross-legged. Well done, guys, fantastic. Okay, we can take it down a notch. Take strength out of the equation, take stability out of the equation. Let's work on some mobility of that spine. Okay, so if you've got a hard block, even be like a book or something, I want you to pop that underneath your bottom, because I want you to be just a little higher off the floor. It just releases the hips a little bit, okay? Don't worry if you haven't got anything you can sit on, but just make sure that your hips are quite soft, quite relaxed, okay? So the first things first, cross yourself down. Let's find our center. So quick little lesson here. Let's just triple check we're in the right spot. What I'd like is you to feel your sit bones directly pressing into your mat. So your bony bits, okay? So just do a little rock backwards. So backwards tilt of your pelvis. You should fall away from them. And as you rock your weight forward, you really feel like you're sitting right on them, quite a lot of pressure through it. So just gentle rock backwards and a gentle rock forward. Now guys, actually if you want to do this in seated as well, like you're more than welcome to, you can do it on a chair, you can do it on a Swiss ball, because it's just going to help the hips to release. So I want the focus here to be on your torso. I really want the focus to be on your upper body. Okay, so let's go one more halfway, And then find the point where you have got your weight directly through those two bones. And so if you've got a bit of butt tissue in the way, get your bum out the way so you can feel the bony bits into the floor. Good, fantastic. All right. Pull the shoulders back and down. We're just going to take our hands quite wide to start off with. Soften them down. If it's too much on the shoulders after the side bend, just cross your hands and tuck your hands underneath your armpits. That's fine. Still keeping the weight centered through your sit bones. Let's lift through the back of the neck. So really imagine you've got a puppeteer pulling you up to the ceiling, and from that breastbone, turn. Really gentle turn to the side, and then turn yourself back to face front. Great. And again, turn to the other side, front and back. Now keep on going. Breathe out to turn, breathe in to come back. That's quite important. Breathing out to turn, breathing in to come back. Now, how's that shoulder stability? You're really only turning that chest. If you start to see your hands moving around, work on that shoulder blade position a little bit harder, or again, if you need to, just fold and work on that breastbone turn. Doesn't matter. It's not a cheat if the shoulders are feeling sore. Now we're going to breathe out to turn, and we're going to breathe in and go further, really expanding the ribs before you breathe out to come back to the front again. Breathe in, reset that tummy muscle. Breathe out to turn. Breathe in, get further. Breathe out, come back to the center. Keep on going. I want you to imagine you've got a headlamp stuck to your breastbone. Turn and get as much of that light shining towards the back of your room as you possibly can. Hold for the breath in. Then move on the breath out. You're doing the extra turn on the breath in, bringing it back together again. We'll do one more to each side. Breathing out to turn. Breathing in, extra twist, bringing it back. Some of you might even feel some pops and things cracking through the spine. Who needs to pay a chiropractor or a physio? Just come to my Pilates class, right? Okay, rest those arms after the last one. So a bit tired, but maybe a little bit of extra stretch through that chest. We're going to take that one step further. Block away from underneath your bottom. Go lengthways on your mat and stretch those legs out in front of you. What I'd like is your kneecaps to be pointing directly to the ceiling, so you might have to kind of turn your feet in a little bit, but knees and feet definitely touching, okay guys? So we're going to go for a spine stretch next. Put your hands up to parallel with the floor, parallel with your legs. If you need to, again, you can fold over, but that's fine. Little spine stretch. You're going to drop the chin down to the chest, and you're going to reach yourself forward. But you're going to keep your arms up, over, hovering, horizontal, parallel with those legs. And then when you come back, you're going to restack the vertebrae one at a time, just like we do when we're in standing. So chin to the chest, shoulders roll forward, reach, breathe in to hold, breathe out to slowly restack, shoulders down, head up last. Breathe in to prepare the next one. Big breath in through the back of the ribs. Breathe out to restack. Let's go for one more of those. Breathe in, set the tummy muscles. Breathe out, reach. It's all about the reach forward. Breathe in to hold, knees pointing to the ceiling. Breathe out to come back. Now breathe in, take your hands up to the ceiling without moving your ribs. There's the hard part. Breathe out, down and reach. Squeeze the knees together, breathe in to hold. Breathe out, restack the vertebrae. Breathe in, reach. Breathe out, lower the hands, stretch forward. Breathe in to hold. Now, as you restack the vertebrae, think about the pressure in your bum cheekbones. As you lift your hands, you breathe in. Don't change the pressure on your bum cheekbones. We're doing two more. So, as you reach forward, pressure comes off your bum cheekbones. As you restack, the pressure goes back on the bum cheekbones, those sit bones, and as you raise the hands up, hopefully again we keep it there. Now circle the arms down by the sides, just take the hands behind you. So we're going to do the next round of exercises on your back. For anyone pregnant in the room, you are going to be doing it. You can join in everybody else though. You're going to be doing it up in this position, okay? So nice and strong. And you know what? Anybody wants to have a go there, now you're more than welcome to. The rest of you, lay yourselves down onto your back, ready for our exercises. So we're going to start off with a one-leg circle. So the arms long by our sides. Get yourself set up, wait, get it engaged at centre, melt the rib cage down into the mat a little bit, and take one leg up to a single leg tabletop. One leg circle level 1 is a little bit too easy for you guys, I think. So let's everybody get a nice straight leg stretched in the air. If you are pregnant, keep your knee bent. We're going to work on some circles, okay? Now they are really quite small. You're only circling through about the size of a Swiss ball itself. It really isn't that big at all. Let's reverse that circle. So it starts off, isn't it easy, right? It's easy. Look at the knee that's not moving. Is it stable? Can we keep that stability? Hopefully, yes. Bend that knee, rest it down. Go to the other side. So flex the knee up into tabletop, straighten the knee in the air, and go into those circles. So again, just to reiterate, if you're in the stronger position, you've got a knee up here, and you're just working on some circles if you can't lay on your back just at the moment. Okay, reverse the circle. If you haven't already, let's go for 3 more of those, setting that tummy, keeping that control, and rest the knee down. Now, that's okay. Now we're going to take that little Pilates ball. I'm going to get a shoulder bridge, squeeze the bum cheeks, lift your bums off the floor, pop the ball underneath your bottom and lower yourself down now, okay? And then continue to do one leg circle. Here's the catch. Those of you who are laying on your back, you've now lost your stability. So take that first leg back up in the air to single leg tabletop, stretch it up to the ceiling. Now, as we do our circles, let's focus a little bit more attention on our hip bones. So hip bone to hip bone, we need to keep that flat, flush and level. Okay, if you're like, yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, now take your hands up to the ceiling, reverse the circle and keep on going. Now, does that make it a little bit more challenging? It really should do. So press into the opposite heel and tense your abs. Because honestly, it's that core muscle area that's actually providing your balance now. Rest the knees, rest the hands. Find that middle ground, take the second leg up, straighten it in the air, start the circles. If you're feeling confident, get the hands up as well. So again, we're just working on these beautiful circles with no wobble on that bottom knee, no wobble in the shoulders and the hip bones. Imagine you've got a spirit level, hip bone to hip bone. Keep that level, reverse the circle. Let's keep on going, guys. You're doing really, really well. Let's keep those going. Okay, fantastic. Just the last couple, one leg circle, level 2, and rest yourselves down. Fantastic. Shoulder bridge up, take that ball away. We're going to hip twist level 3 now. So rest your arms down by your sides. Glide your heels a bit closer to your bottom and have your feet hip distance apart. Take one leg up into a single leg tabletop. You can do this in seated as well if you want to get on your Swiss ball for that pregnant variation. We're going to let one knee and the foot roll out at the same time and then gently roll yourself back in again. So we're breathing out to let the knee roll out. Gently breathing in to let the knee roll in. Do 3 more to that side, please. You're still trying to keep that lovely stability through that hip area. Again, if you're in that seated position, you're working on that lovely hip rotation without wobbling on that ball. Put that foot down and switch sides for me, please. So we do 5 more. Hip twist, Level 3 to the opposite side. So you'll see I've got a bit of a rotation theme going on today. I really want those abs to be working into the oblique line. Really important area for us to work in. Okay, there's our level 3. Put the foot down after that 5th one. And then try to take everyone up to level 4. And if we can, on that little Pilates ball, it's up to you. Everybody try, shoulder bridge up, ball under the bum, weight down. So try the hip twist level 3, which is the same one, single leg. But you know, everyone's had a little crack. Rest the ribs, press the ribs down into the floor. So keep the tummy flat and take that second leg up into a double leg tabletop. Now we're in double leg tabletop, just really quickly, look down the body. You shouldn't be able to see your feet. If you can see your feet over your knees, you've got to drop them down. I'd like your shins to be parallel with the floor, yeah? And hip distance apart again. Now, really firmly place those hands into the floor now, because we're going to alternate sides. The knee and ankle rolls out to the side and then gently rolls back in again. Alternate the side that you're doing that on. Again, if it's too much, just put one foot down and work, obviously, into that range, okay? That's absolutely fine. Alternate the legs if you can. Now, if you're feeling like, I've got this, it's not too bad, you can also try to take your hands up to the ceiling. Now, honestly, just holding this position is quite tricky. Like I'm wobbling around and shaking. Okay, so the move become much smaller, but I'd work on my tummy a lot harder. So it's kind of up to you. Have a play with what you're feeling like today. Moving those hips in and out, nice and gently. Let's go for 2 more to each side. So if you are in a single leg, just make sure you're doing evens to each side. If you're sitting on the Swiss ball, take your hands up to the ceiling to make that stability a bit harder if you're feeling a bit brave. Okay, when you've done that 4th one, rest one leg down at a time, one leg down at a time, fantastic. Squeeze the bum cheek to take that block away from the ball on your bottom. Put the ball away. Okay, stay seated on the ball. If you're there, I'll show you a variation in a second. The rest of you, float one arm up just away from the floor. Take the other hand and place it behind your head, lifting the elbow up into your peripheral vision. We're going to work on an oblique prep. So feet hip distance apart, knees hip distance apart. Press both heels into the floor. Feel a little bit more tension through those glutes. And tuck the chin towards the chest. When you get halfway up, you're going to roll the body across, reaching those fingertips down towards your heels, keeping a nice flat tummy as you roll, and then just gently reverse it on the way down. It's a little quicker on the next one. Breathing out to lift and cross over the body, breathing in to lower down. So we're going to keep on going with that really nice oblique preparation. We're going to call it an oblique prep. Same side, stay there. If you're seated, we're going to make it a little bit simple, a little bit samey. You're going to roll across and then just tuck yourself down, reaching to the floor before you reverse it. Really lift that snobby chest up to the ceiling. Breathe out to curl forward and breathe in to lift that chest up to the ceiling. So keep on going if you are seated on that Swiss ball. Now, switch those hands over. So the other arm floats and the opposite hand sticks behind your head. Lift the elbows up and then breathe out to lift and roll across. Breathe in to roll down. Fantastic. That look great. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. So keep on going, guys. And what I'm really looking for you guys to achieve is this level hip. So your hips aren't moving anywhere. And really, really quickly, guys, think about your lower back position. Keep on going, keep on going. We want to keep the lower back neutral. So as you lift into that movement, don't drop your lower back into the floor. Keep that small little arch underneath your lower back. So rest yourselves down now. Take both hands behind your head. Lift the elbows up into your peripheral vision. Drop your shoulder blades away from those ears. We're going to alternate the sides now. So you lift and roll across, and then peel yourself back in between. But we're going to try to do this in double leg tabletop. So take one leg into tabletop. Quickly focus on the small space underneath your lower back. So when you press the rib cage into the floor and lift the second leg up, if you're comfortable to do so, your lower back hasn't moved. Squeeze the knees together, squeeze the feet together. Now let's do the movement. Breathing out to lift and cross the body, and breathing in to lower down in between. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Now keep on going. If you're on the Swiss ball and want to take it further, lift the opposite foot an inch off the floor to the side that you're dropping to, just to make that balance a little bit harder. The rest of you keep on going. Now what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing is knees and legs are swaying side to side. You've got to stabilize those legs. As you're rolling and lifting side to side, you're not allowed to move those legs, because if your legs are swinging left to right, you're basically using momentum to do the movement. We want the abs to do this movement. So squeeze the knees together, squeeze the feet together, lift that pelvic floor, crush your rib cage down into the floor, pull the shoulders back and down, and keep on going. 4 more. Really start to work in the abdominal crossover line, but really stabilizing through that center, that spinal stabilization system. After that last one, please put the feet down one at a time and stretch the arms out behind you. Just go for a little pencil stretch. If you're seated on a Swiss ball, just stand yourselves up and give yourselves a big old stretch up to the ceiling. Nice big reach. Lift the rib cage, lift the chest. Let's keep everything going. Breathing in, breathing out. And just float the arms back down by the sides. Relax those shoulders. Okay, bring the knees in. We're going to go into a quick seated stretch off. So back down onto the floor. Legs outstretched. We're going to take one knee, bring it up, and just let it fall out to the side. If that's quite uncomfortable to leave the leg dangling there, just grab your ball and pop that underneath your knee as well. That's absolutely fine. So a quick hamstring stretch to begin with. We've done quite a lot through the back line today. Bring the knee up towards the ceiling. Point your toe. Hold onto your calf muscle and try to pull your chest forward. Don't drop your head. Just go forward into the stretch. And when you're in that stretch, you should feel a bit of a stretch up the back of the hamstring. But instead, additional extra, forwards tilt your pelvis. So tip your pelvis forward, try to arch your lower back and stick your bum in the air. You should get extra stretch on that one, and it should feel quite nice, yeah? If there's bump in the way, just take your knee a little bit wider, that's fine. Let your bump hang through the middle. Breathe in, breathe out one more time. Really, really, really pull, pull, pull and hold that stretch, and then gently ease yourself off. Fantastic, okay. Let's cross those over. Let the other knee roll down. And again, point the toe, walk those hands forward, grab onto the mid-calf, really. Pull forward so the chest's going horizontally that way, and then lift the tailbone second. So if you can get that forwards tilt, you should get the extra stretch, and it makes it just a much more worthwhile. So actually, it doesn't matter what position you do a hamstring stretch in, you can put that forwards tilt in, like it becomes just a much more beneficial stretch. Doesn't matter how flexible you look, you know, I can do this, it doesn't give me any more of a better hamstring stretch. So ease ourselves off. Fantastic. Okay. Let's sweep the legs around. We're going to go to a 4-point kneel, and we're going to stretch our glutes out using a little pigeon pose. We're going to steal something from yoga. So we need to tuck one knee in and across the body, and just slide that leg back. Now for this stretch, you can do actually whatever you want at the upper body. You can keep your chest up and kind of work on pushing the hips to the floor. You can drop your head in your hands. You can go to the side. You can move the angle of the bottom foot. Doesn't matter what stretch you do, it's like when you feel like you kind of want to be a little bit sick because it hurts so much, yeah, you've got a really good stretch there. So let's try to keep that like 5 more seconds. Breathing in, breathing out, twice more. Every time you breathe up, try and get a bit further into the stretch, but don't release it as you breathe in. Again, one more breath out, hold. Just ease stuff up, use the hands. Slowly, yeah, no hurting on these in the stretch element of the class, please. Tuck in the under and let's stretch out on that other side. And again, it's nice and simple. Rolling through, finding the best stretch for you, and just holding it there when you're ready. So really nice and simple, nice movements. Now again, with the last little bit here, we're going to work with the loop band. So hopefully, if you've got your loop bands, good to go. Breathing in and breathing out one more time. And again, gently just bring yourself up. Now, just wherever you are, so stay, we're going to go and grab our little loop band, tuck our toes under. We're going to just bring ourselves up to standing and go to the edge of our mat. Okay, so just go to the edge of the mat. We're going to do a just nice little safe roll down. Tuck yourself in, take your time. Sit on the floor if you need to, not a problem. And we're going to roll it actually around the ankles. It's really very, very Instagram. Have it around your knees. It's actually a lot harder work if you have it around your ankle bones. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on today. So pull the shoulders back and down, arms nice and long by our sides. We're going to get a little bit wide, so you've already got a bit of a stretch through that loop band. I'm going to sink into a half knee bend. So just kind of have your hands in front of you, pull the shoulders back and down. Now what I'm going to get to do is look at the feet. We've got straight feet, yeah? As you take a step out to the side now, extra stretch through the band, keep the feet straight and keep the knees turned out. So really, 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 really pull those knees out. Now as you pull that back leg in, don't let it ping in, control it. Keep the tension on the band though, yeah? Should get 3 more in. Step slowly in. Step. Are your knees turned out? Yeah, 1 more. Step. Turn it in. Hold and just stand up. Now, if you look at your feet now, they should still be really, really straight. And your arches, let's get them higher. So almost turn your ankle bones outwards. Yeah. So if you imagine your ankles are kind of pointing to midnight, let's turn your ankle bones outwards to 10 to 2. Just kind of turning those ankle bones wide. It should feel really strong through those feet. So when you drop into the next step, we've got extra strength through your ankle bones. And it's 4 and in, 3 and in, 2 and in, and last one and up. Okay, fantastic. That's a little start point. So if you want to just keep on doing that, you're more than welcome to. Making it harder, let's sink into that half knee bend. Put all the weight onto the foot nearest the outside of your mat and straighten the leg towards the inside. Now point that toe. Should be really quite a lot of tension through that band now. And this might be where you just drop the band tension down. So you might have started on medium, you might want to drop it to light. Shoulders come back, lift that belly button up. We can do 10 toe taps. We can try to keep the stability through the opposite knee. Because what's going to want to happen is as you're tapping, tap, 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 that knee's going to want to roll in each time. So really start to work on pulling that bent knee outwards. So you tap in, but it's this bent knee that's really working hard to stabilize you. 2, 1, and out. Okay, good, fantastic. Let's go to the other side. So sinking down, pushing the weight across the other side, keeping the knee bent, straighten out the other leg, point the toe, shoulders back, belly button drawn in, and 10, 9, 8, 7. Now guys, when that foot's coming down, don't let it ping. Control that weight down as well. Whoop. Don't let it kind of drop and be really quick. Really control that knee and the foot as it comes back down to the mat. Last one. And step in. Okay, step out of the mat. Step out of your loop band. That's enough. Come into the center. Give yourselves a little shake off. Fantastic. Okay. So we're going to work on one last thing on the glutes. This is stretch, but I'm going to just change it a little bit, make it a bit fancy pants. Some of you might want to go straight to a wall for this one, for balance, okay? Because it looks like you're going to fold one knee, one foot over the other knee, bring your hands out in front of you for balance, and you're going to very slowly sit yourselves down into basically a modified glute stretch. So we're going to get that knee and almost try to think about pushing it towards the floor as you sink down into your little, kind of like a little half squat. You should feel the stretch on the bum muscle of the knee that's bent. And obviously you're working quite hard on the foot that's balancing. But do not worry if you need to use a wall. You're just using it kind of half. It's still quite a good stretch and a little bit of stability through that bottom ankle. Now squeeze the arm as you stand up and switch the legs over. Fantastic. Turn around if you need to. Fold the other foot back over just above the other knee. Hands out in front to stabilize. Gently come down into it. You know, really take your time. Don't stress about it. Imagine you're pushing that knee to the floor. That's going to give you that extra good stretch through the glutes, the gluteal muscles, your bum, and sink. Breathe in, pull the shoulders back and down, lifting through the belly button. Lots of stability through that foot. Loving your work, guys. It's great. Okay, breathing in, 3, 2, and breathe out. Fantastic. Okay, let's go for a roll down. Straight in, feet hip distance apart. Pull the shoulders back and down. Drop the chin down to the chest. Roll the shoulders forward, sinking through one vertebra at a time, and just stay there. Bend the knees a little bit. Get the chest a bit lower. Breathe in, breathe out. Just find a little bit of a stretch through the back. Shrug the shoulders up to your ears. Straighten the knees. Squeeze the bum cheeks as you start to peel yourself back up again. Interlace the fingers. Turn the palms to the floor and stretch forward into a little upper body roll. Look forward. Keep on looking the hands as they go all the way over the head. And then just circle those arms back down again. Interlace the fingers, palms down. Reach forward. Drop the chin down. Look up at those hands. Breathe in to look at the ceiling. Big breath in. Lift the chest. Breathe out for a huge circle. One more of those. Breathe in. Look at the floor. Breathe out. Hands to shoulder height. Breathe in. Squeeze the bum. Look at the ceiling. Breathe out. Come down. 2 shoulder rolls. All the way up and all the way down. Breathe in to lift the shoulders. Breathe out to rest the shoulders. Breathe in for a full arm circle. Breathe out to rest. Last one. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to turn and look over one shoulder. Turn and look over the other shoulder. Drop the chin down to the chest. Sweep the chin along the collarbone. Look up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sweep it along the collarbone. Look up to the other side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look at the floor. Rest there for a second. Pull the shoulders back. Relax the hands. Relax your elbows. Relax your feet. Shoulders are pulled back though. Chin to the chest. Slowly breathe in. And as you breathe out, just start to straighten up through the back of the neck. Set the center. Release the chin. And well done, guys.